And so we're excited about this. And this is a new thing for us. So be patient and with us as we figure this out as we go along. How excited are you to do this, Mike?
Oh, I've been waiting for this ever since we got the books. So
Right? Yes. So here's what we're going to do, everybody. We are going to, I'm going to change my camera to go to, I have a desk cam. So I'm going to move over to there, but we've even got a dice roller ready to roll. And we're going to go through the beginning, some of the beginning pages, create our character, all the kind of the rules. So you kind of know how it all works. And then we're just going to kind of have a good time from there and all. You may hear some music in the background. We're testing that too as well. So hopefully it's not drowning us out or anything like that. So, all right. And here we go. Lone Wolf, Book 1 of the Kai series, Flight from the Dark. Yeah, here, I'll hold that up while I do my thing over here. Nice. All right, I'm switching my camera. We are super.
Uh-oh, Steven, you froze up.
Did I freeze up or is it changing? There it goes.
Oh, it's changing. Okay.
It's changing. Right. And so I got it because I have to kill the background screen here.
Okay. All right, we're going to start off with building our character.
Dun.
There we go.
Flight from the Dark. Boy, that looks really super yellow. All right. As we open up the book.
I'll look at that.
There's this is a signed copy by Joe Dever's son, Ben. And also it's a limited edition. But what's funny is when they did the limited edition, I don't know if you can see that or not, they forgot to put in the number. So it's a super limited edition that doesn't have a number on it.
That means it's worth more.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yes, we shall see. So here's where it says the bearer of this scroll, namely, and you can write your name in here, is an initiate in the disciplines of the Kai.
Nice.
There are a bunch of books in this series, and here I'm going to switch us a little bit here because I still have it on you. Sorry about that, man. Ta-da!
There we go. Now everyone can see.
Yeah. So there are in the book series, you've got Kai. Then as you go through the first 5 books, and what's interesting, originally it was only going to be 5 books, but it caught on. So then they went to the Magna Kai series, and then you became a Grandmaster series. Then there is the New Order, I think, where you're rebuilding it. And then Endgame is the last 4 books, which is supposed to come out this year.
Nice.
So Storms of the Kai is already out. I don't know about Dead in the Deep, but I know Dusk of Eternal Night and Light of the Kai are the final books. Okay.
So now the way you explained it to me when you were telling me about the books, you kind of said it was like Kai was almost like Padawan, Magna Kai was like Jedi
Knight,
and then of course Grandmaster would be like a
Jedi Master. Yep. And the New Order is kind of like you're rebuilding the Kai Order. I don't want to do spoilers alert here, but anyway, so yeah, that's about almost gave away something. So anyway, yeah. So Flight from the Dark. This is the new series illustrated by Nerd Gorge. Flight from the Dark by Joe Dever. This edition has a whole new beginning, and so this is why we're doing this one, because in the original book, you got in trouble. You had to go get sticks and firewood, and while you were gone, the monastery got attacked and destroyed. And so it was a real quick start. This one, you were there for the whole battle. So we're going to have a good time with it. So there's an introduction by August Hahn, and then here's the action chart. So here's your character sheet, everybody. And we're going to go through this, and Mike's going to write down, but we've got action chart. You get to pick a certain amount of Kai disciplines when you start. and we'll read the things. You can have a maximum of 2 weapons. And then you have a backpack, which you can only carry a maximum of 8 articles. And then you can have certain meals that will replace your endurance points. We'll get to that in a second. Special items. This is an important box because sometimes special items you get in a story, you'll find in you'll use them in other stories. So it's really important to have that. And then belt pouch for gold. Then on the right side is you have your combat skill. Then here's your endurance points. You can never go above your initial score. 0 equals you are dead. He's dead, Jim. Dead, Jim. Dead. And then here's your combat record. And so we'll talk about how combat works. But you start with your endurance points, your combat ratio, which is important, and then your enemy. And so then you do a dice roll. And you go for your combat ratio, look at that on the chart, and how many hit points everybody gets taken off. And you see there's a bunch of combat record here, and we're going to have a great time with that. So then you see there's a second page, just in case you needed another one, because there, and you can also print pages off the website, off of magnuman.com, and you can get extra ones.
Which is what I did.
Yeah, I had to do it too. Okay, so I'm going to do a brief introduction, everybody, and I'm going to read this here real quick, and then we're going to go over the game rules. Okay, here we go. I'm going to get some music playing for this one. All right.
There we go.
It has for centuries been customary for parents to send their most gifted children to the monastery of the Kai on the occasion of their 7th birthday. They are taught the skills and martial disciplines of their noble ancestors. The warrior order of the Kai are masters of their art, and the children in their charge love and respect them in spite of the hardships of their training. For one day, when finally they have mastered the disciplines of the Kai, they will be able to return to their homes equipped in mind and body to defend themselves and their kin against the constant threat of the war from the Darklords of the West. In olden times, during the age of the Black Moon, the Darklords waged war on Sommerlund. The conflict was long and bitter trial of strength that ended in victory in the Sommerlunding of the great battle of the Macon Gorge. King Ulnar I, himself gifted with Kai powers, aided by the allies of Duranor, broke the Darklord armies at the pass of Mortura and forced them back into the bottomless abyss of Macon Gorge. Vashna, mightiest of the Darklords, was slain upon Ulnar's sword called Summer Sword, the Sword of the Sun. Since that day, the Darklords have vowed vengeance upon Sommerlund and the House of Ulnar. Today is the eve of the feast day of Famarn, the first day of spring. It is an old tradition of the Kai to gather at the monastery in the foothills of the Duncrag Mountains on Famarn, in order to reaffirm their fealty to the god Kai and to the Sommerlunding House of Ulnar. Many Kai journeymen and envoys have traveled far to return in time for tomorrow's celebration, which mark the beginning of a new year in Sommerlund. You are a young Kai cadet called Silent Wolf. This is the name you were given by your Kai masters when you first entered the monastery. You are an initiate in this noble order, and this will be the 8th year you have taken part in the Famarn ceremony. Your feelings of pride and excitement are the same now as they were when you first arrived here from your home in the village of Daj, a little over half of your short lifetime ago. In the past few days, there have been an exciting time for you and your fellow cadets. The journeymen have been recounting their tales of battles won and quests fulfilled in distant lands. Everyone is filled with a sense of joy and hopeful anticipation that the new year will bring continued peace and prosperity to your beloved homeland. The monastery is alive with activity as the final preparations are completed for tomorrow's feast. But for you and the other cadets, the routine has changed very little. Your training and education proceeds as usual, although you find it harder than ever to concentrate as your current tutor, Kai Master Starfire, instructs your class on the geography of the Lastlands. Silent Wolf, he bellows, waking you abruptly from a daydream. Perhaps you can enlighten us. Which city lies on the coast of the Wildlands? You hesitate, stunned into open-mouthed silence. As I thought, he says reproachfully, this is not the first time we have suffered your inattention. A penalty paid now may serve to sharpen your concentration in the future. Starfire reaches into the pocket of his tunic and withdraws a shiny gold coin, gazing at it for a few moments as he considers what the forfeiture should be. I will let fate decide. He tosses the gold coin into the air and catches it deftly in the back of his left hand. Looking down at the freshly minted head of King Olnar V, he says aloud, So be it. Extra weapons training. Tomorrow morning, 1 hour before dawn, you will present yourself to me equipped and ready on the training park. Yes, my lord, you reply humbly. A bell chimes 3 times from the hallway beyond your classroom door, signifying the end of today's lessons. You are placing your books and parchments into your backpack in readiness to leave when Kai Master Starfire calls to you once more. Be punctual, Silent Wolf, or you will find yourself spending Famarn gathering firewood for the kitchens, and I shall see to it that you forfeit your place at the feasting table at sundown. The threat of missing the annual Feast of Famarn causes you to swallow hard. Yes, sire, you reply. I will be punctual. Ta-da!
All right.
All right. Now, let's talk about the game rules, everybody. It says here, you will keep a record of your adventure on the action chart that you will find in the front of this book or by using the link. And Mike's already prepared and got his ready.
Yes, I do.
So during your training as a Kai initiate, you have developed your fighting prowess, combat skill, and your physical stamina, endurance. Before you begin, you will need to measure how effective your training has been. To do this, take a pencil and with your eyes closed, point with the blunt end of it onto the random number table at the back of this book. If you pick 0, it counts as 0. So I'll show everybody the back of the book. Man, there's all kinds of extra stuff in this new edition. It's really cool. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Sorry, it's at the back. So here's the random table. But we ain't doing that, are we? I'm excited about this.
We are actually going to use a D10.
Yes. Okay. So we are rolling. We are rolling for combat skill. You ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. 3.
Ooh.
So that's not good. Okay. Your first number you pick, add 10 to the number you chose and write it in the combat skills section of your action chart.
So we got 13.
We got 13. Oh, boy. We may not last long, everybody.
Yeah, this might be tough.
This might be real tough. Okay, so the second number we pick, here we go. This is going to be our endurance. So I'm going to roll. Here we go. 10. Nice. So add 20. The second number that you pick from the random table represents your endurance. Add 20 to this number and write the total in the endurance section of your action chart. Nice.
Oh, wait, add 20 to the 10?
20 to the 10. So your total of 30 in endurance. So our combat skill is 13. Okay, makes sense. We're young, I guess. Yuck. Dun, dun, dun.
We got good endurance, though.
That is. Our endurance is going to, we need it. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so play option. Pick 3 numbers from the random table first, then choose which one among them represents your combat skill and which one represents your endurance. So you can pick 3 numbers and pick the best 2 out of 3. You can do that.
Yes. Yeah.
we can do that. Do you want to roll again for the combat skill?
I almost want to. I mean,
Let's
our
do it. It
combat
can. We
skill,
hey, it's right here. It's in the book.
right?
We can do
Yeah,
that.
it's
All right.
allowable.
Let's give another one.
All right.
Well, okay, that was a 1,
Well,
everybody.
I
So
think we're sticking with the 13.
I think we're sticking with the 13. That's funny. Okay. It also says you may find it more convenient to use a 10-sided die instead of the random number table.
Right.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about the Kai disciplines, everybody. And let me go back to the big one. Oh, there's Mike. Mike's real big right there. Okay, so here's what I want to do here. Kai disciplines. Mike, do you want me to read through all of these and then we pick the ones that we want?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Or well, read the titles of each one, and then we'll decide which ones we want, and then go back.
Okay.
And read which ones we pick.
Which ones we picked. Okay, that sounds good. So Kai disciplines. Over the centuries, the Kai have mastered many useful skills, which are passed on from generation to generation. These skills are known as the Kai disciplines, and they are taught to all Kai lords. As a Kai initiate, you have learned only 5 of the skills listed below. You must choose your 5 Kai disciplines before you set off on your adventure. As all of the Kai disciplines will be of use to you at some point during your mission, pick your 5 with care. The correct use of a discipline at the right time can save your life. When you have chosen your 5 disciplines, enter them in the Kai discipline section of your action chart. And so I'm going to list them out, and then we'll talk about which ones we want, and then I'll do the reading of those. So we've got camouflage, hunting, sixth sense, tracking, healing, and then weapon skill. And weapon skill, you actually have to roll a dice to pick which weapon. You can't just pick a weapon that you want it to be, which really threw me off in the first time I played it, and I was like, "Oops!" So, but you can pick, but you have to roll. Like I want weapon skill, so and we'll talk about it in a minute. There's also mind shield, mind blast, animal kinship, and mind over matter. So those are the 10. And what's interesting, everybody, is if you successfully complete the mission as set in Lone Wolf Book 1, which we're doing, you may add a further Kai discipline of your choice to your action chart at the start of Book 2. So as you finish a book, you get to add another Kai discipline.
Nice.
This additional skill, together with your 5 original skills and with any equipment, including special items that you have picked up in Book 1, may then be used in the next adventure of the Lone Wolf series. Okay. And, all right. So, what would you like to be? We're going to go back and forth on this, everybody. So, Mike? What would you like to be the first one?
I say weapon skill. I mean, you gotta have a weapon, right?
Yes. Now, okay, so let me read it, everybody. Upon entering the Kai Monastery, each initiate is taught to master one type of weapon. If weapon skill is to be one of your Kai disciplines, pick a number in the usual way from the random number table. We'll roll the dice here in a minute, everybody. And then find the corresponding weapon from the list below. This is the weapon in which you have a proven skill. When you enter combat carrying this weapon, you add 2 points to your combat skill rating. Thank goodness.
Yeah, we need that.
We need it. The fact that you are skilled with a weapon does not mean you set out the adventure carrying that particular weapon. However, you will have opportunities to acquire weapons in the course of your adventures. And that's true because I played it. There were several times I was like, oh, yay, weapons. You cannot carry more than 2 weapons. You may only use 1 weapon at a time. If you choose this skill, write weapon skill in, then +2 combat skill points if the weapon is carried. Okay, are we ready? Let's go to the dice that doesn't like us. And I'm going to roll. Here we go. 8. 8
is a sword.
Is sword. I love it.
Sword.
We get a sword.
Now, where do I put the sword at?
You put it right next to. So when you're in
I put it next to it.
Action, yeah, in the weapons maximum 2, there's number 1 and number 2. Put. Oh no, you put the Kai discipline.
Right, I wrote weapon skill +2.
Okay. Yeah. So Kai discipline is weapon skill, sword +2 combat skill points.
Oh, okay. So put sword after weapon skill, and then put
Right.
+2.
So if you have a sword, if you have a sword that were in the game, then we can add 2 to our measly little 13 combat skill points.
Okay. All right.
It'll work out. It'll be fine. Okay.
This is what I got.
Here, let me make it bigger there. Perfect. Okay. Yes, that looks good. All right. So next, everybody, I'm going to pick. Yay. So I want to do healing.
I was going to say that too.
This discipline can be used to restore endurance points lost in combat. If you possess this skill, you may restore 1 endurance point to your total for every numbered section of the book you pass through in which you are not involved in combat. This is only to be used after your endurance has fallen below its original level. Be sure to remember that your endurance score cannot rise above its original level. And man, our endurance is 30. That's the best that we can have endurance. So we're a beefy dude.
Nice.
Okay, your turn. What would you like to do next for the next skill?
I think we should go hunting, because hunting allows us to have food, and we don't necessarily have to eat. You know, if we don't have enough food, we don't necessarily have to eat because we can hunt.
Sure. Let me read the thing for everybody. This skill ensures that a Kai Lord will never starve in the wild. They will always be able to hunt for food, except in areas of wasteland and desert. The skill also enables a Kai Lord to be able to move swiftly and stealthily. If you choose this skill, write hunting. No need for a meal when instructed to eat on your action chart.
And I like to eat, so. All right. Your turn.
Okay. Oh, man. This is where it gets really hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Sixth Sense.
Okay.
This skill may warn a Kai Lord of imminent danger. It may also reveal the true purpose of a stranger or strange object encountered in the adventure. If you choose this skill, write Sixth Sense on your action chart.
Done.
Excellent. Okay, Mike, you have the pleasure and the privilege to do the last one.
Let's see. You know what? I think I'm going to take Mind Blast.
Nice. Mind Blast okay.
Also gives us extra combat skills.
It sure does. Okay, so Mind Blast. This skill enables a Kai Lord to attack an enemy using the force of their mind. It can be used at the same time as a normal combat weapon and adds 2 extra points to your combat skill. Not all the creatures encountered on this adventure will be susceptible to Mind Blast. You will be told if a creature is immune. If you choose this skill, write Mind Blast +2 combat skill points on your action chart. So now, if we end up getting a sword and we end up being able to use Mind Blast for our enemies, that puts us at a combat skill of, if we can do both, 19. No. I'm sorry, 17.
17.
Oops, sorry, 17.
Which is pretty good.
Which is still pretty good.
Right.
Yep. 17 is good. Okay. Excellent. Good choices. That was good.
Our 5.
I'm happy with those choices.
I am too. I like those choices.
Yeah.
And you and I seem to be thinking along the same lines too, because as soon as you said healing, I'm like, yeah, I would have chose that also. Healing and hunting, I think, are 2 of the most.
That's going to help us keep from dying, I hope. Okay, everybody. Equipment. Your basic possessions comprise a green tunic and a cloak of Kai Initiate. You have a backpack, a belt, and a leather pouch in which to keep your money, gold crowns. To find out how much money you have, pick a number from the random table. The number you choose equals the number of gold crowns you possess at the start of the adventure. Note this number in the belt patch section of your action chart. Okay, so here we go. We're ready? Yep. And a roll.
And we have 10. Wow.
We got 10 gold crowns. Upon entering the Kai Monastery, every initiate is given a map of the Last Lands. This map shows the location of your native country, Sommerlund, and its capital city, Homeguard. It also shows the land of Duranor away to the east and the wildlands which separate the two kingdoms. That, if you want to see what's really cool about getting the hardback, everybody, is you get a colored version
Oh yeah, that's
as
nice.
part of the jacket behind it, and really, this whole adventure only takes place in this little area.
Yeah, but we got so many books, so
I know it's great. Okay, how to carry and use your equipment. Any item that may be of use and can be picked up on your adventure and entered onto your action chart is given capital letters in the text, unless you are told it is a special item or a weapon. Carry it in your backpack. Weapons. Weapons aid you in combat. If you have the Kai discipline of weapon skill and the correct weapon, it adds 2 points to your combat skill. If you enter a combat with no weapons, you must deduct 4 points from your combat skill and fight with your bare hands. Ugh. If you find a weapon during the adventure, you may pick it up and use it. You may only use one weapon at a time in combat. You can carry only 2 weapons at a time. You may exchange or discard weapons at any point when you are not involved in combat. It's so important to remember that if you're in combat, that's all you're doing, kind of a thing. There's no potions or eating food or anything like that, unless the instructions tell you can. Most weapons are carried either sheathed or tucked into your belt. Backpack items. During your travels, you will discover various useful items which you may wish to keep, but you may only carry 8 items in your backpack at once. If you ever lose your backpack, you automatically lose all the items it contains. You will be unable to pick up and keep any new backpack items until you acquire a new backpack. Let me tell you, that's foreshadowing, everybody. I don't know necessarily for this adventure, but it happens. I was like, it's heart wrenching. All right. Anyway, I'm going to say anything else. I've read the first 5 books, everybody, and I love them, love them, love them.
I've
Okay.
only done the first book, so
I haven't done I haven't done 2 and 3 in the hardbacks now yet, but I plan to, and I haven't ordered the other ones. Mike has more of the Kai books than I do right now.
Yeah, each special the first 12.
You sure do. Each special item has a particular purpose or effect. This may be explained when the item is first discovered, or it may be revealed to you as the adventure progresses. Gold crowns. The currency of Sommerlund is the crown, which is a small gold coin. Gold crowns can be used on your adventure to pay for transport, food, weapons, and items, or may even be used as a bribe. Some of the creatures that you may encounter will possess gold coins, or you may discover them while searching. Any gold coins that you acquire should be carried in your belt pouch. The maximum number you can carry is 50.
Ooh, we're 1/5 away there.
Yep. Food. You will need to eat regularly during your adventure. If you do not have any food when you are instructed to eat a meal, you will lose 3 endurance points. If you have chosen the Kai discipline of hunting as one of your 5 skills, we did, you will not need to tick off a meal when instructed to eat. Well played, Michael. Good job.
That's why I picked it.
Yes. Potions. If you discover any potions during the adventure, you will be informed of their effects when swallowed. All potions are backpack items. All right. Okay, everybody. Now we're going to talk about combat. Now, combat's a little different. It's an interesting kind of thing. So it can be a little confusing, but we'll walk through it so that way everybody can join along with us as we do it. Okay. Rules for combat. There will be occasions during your adventure when you have to fight an enemy. Not occasions. It'll happen a lot. The enemy's combat skill and endurance points are given in the text. Your aim as Lone Wolf is to kill the enemy by reducing its endurance points to 0, while losing as few endurance points as possible for yourself. At the start of a combat, enter both your and your enemy's endurance points in the appropriate boxes on the combat record section of your action chart. And so you want to show that here? Yeah, let me pull that up for us. So that's the combat table, but show the character sheet.
Oh, sure.
So on the character sheet here on the right side, you see the combat skill and endurance point. So the lone wolf has to enter in his combat skill, and then there's the enemy's combat skill, and the difference is called the combat ratio. Now show the other side. So what you do is the top line that you see, everybody, on the combat results table is what that ratio is. And then on the side, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, which 10 technically adds as 10 in combat. Then tells you the matrix where you go down and see E is for enemy and how many hit points they lose, and LW is lone wolf, how many hit points you lose. And so that's basically it. But I'm going to read this to see if it sounds better too. It sounds much more betterer.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh yeah, I got my water here too. My bubbly water. Okay. The sequence for combat is as follows. Add any extra points gained through your Kai disciplines, equipment, and or special items to your current combat skill total. 2. Subtract the combat skill of your enemy from this total. The result is your combat ratio. Enter this figure on the action chart. Example, you as Lone Wolf, combat skill 15, are ambushed by Demonax, combat skill 20. You are not given the opportunity to evade combat, but you must stand and fight as the creature swoops down. You have the Kai discipline of Mind Blast, so you add 2 points to your combat skill, giving you a total of combat skill of 17. You subtract Damon's combat skill from your own, giving a combat ratio of -3. So that's your combat skill of 17. The Demonax combat skill of 20 gives you -3. -3 is noted on the action chart as the combat ratio. When you have determined your combat ratio, pick a number from the random number table or roll a d10, which is what we're doing. Now turn to the combat results table. Along the top of the chart are shown the combat ratio numbers. Find the number that this is the same as your combat ratio and cross-reference it with the random number that you have picked, the random number or whatever the dice roll is. You now have the number of endurance points lost by both yourself, Lone Wolf, and your enemy in this round of combat. So E represents points lost by the enemy. PC represents points lost by the player character, you as Lone Wolf. It's actually It's actually LW.
You might want to switch views.
Oh, hey, everybody. Sorry about that. Thank you. We're learning.
That's all right.
So, example, combat ratio between you and the Demonac has been established as -3. If the number taken from the random table or our dice roll is a 6, then the result is in the first round of combat is the player, you as Lone Wolf, loses 3 endurance points, and the Demonac loses 6 endurance points. Let me show you how that looks like. So we go to the -3. So here's -3 column for the combat ratio, and then we rolled a 6. And so the enemy loses 6 points, and we lose, PC or Lone Wolf player character loses -3 points. Ta-da!
Yay.
On the action chart, record the changes in endurance points to the participants in the combat. Unless otherwise instructed or unless you have an option to evade, begin the next round of combat. Repeat the sequence from stage 3. So you just keep going until someone loses all their points. The process of combat continues until the endurance points of either the enemy or yourself, Lone Wolf, are reduced to 0, at which point the combatant is declared dead. If Lone Wolf is dead, the adventure is over. It's so frustrating. You spend a couple hours playing, you're like, this is awesome. Then you get killed. It's crazy. If the enemy is dead, Lone Wolf proceeds, but your endurance points possibly reduced. And so a summary of the combat rules appears in the back of this book. So here's the combat table, everybody. And then here's the rules summary. And if you want to evade combat, I never evade combat. That may be a discussion Mike and I may have in the process, because I'm like, let's do this. It says, do you want to go around them? Heck no. Let's go in, man. Let's do this.
I did evade a couple times because there was a couple times I was like, I don't think I can beat them.
That's part of the adventure. I'm like, go for it. Let's do it.
Now,
Uh,
I'll show you something real quick. If you go ahead
yeah,
and switch screens again,
absolutely.
I incorporated these little sticky tabs. I'm trying to get to where you can see the whole
Yeah.
thing. And so I have, for one side, I have my combat skill and my endurance point, and then the other side, I have the enemy's combat skill and endurance points. That way, I can just start tallying them on those little.
Oh, checking them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's a great way to do it. I like that. Well, let's talk about evasion of combat. So here we go. Evasion of combat. During your adventure, you may be given a chance to evade combat. If you have already engaged in a round of combat and decide to evade, calculate the combat for that round in the usual manner. All points lost by the enemy as a result of that round are ignored, and you make your escape. Only you, Lone Wolf, may lose endurance points during an evading round, but then that is the risk of running away in the middle of a fight. You may only evade if the text of the particular section allows you to do so. Sometimes it says you can't evade.
Right.
All right. So let's talk about the levels of Kai training. This is pretty cool right here, everybody. Levels of Kai training. The following table is a guide to the ranks and titles that you are bestowed upon the Kai at each stage of their training. As you successfully complete each adventure in the Lone Wolf series, you will gain an additional Kai discipline and gradually progress towards the mastery of the 10 basic Kai disciplines. So there's novice, initiate, Doan, Acolyte, Initiate, which is where you begin the Lone Wolf adventure. So we're at 5. So we have five Kai disciplines. Then there's Aspirant, Guardian, Warman or Journeyman, Savant, and then Master. So once you hit Master, that's why it's the Magna Kai series is next. Beyond the 10 basic skills of Kai Master, await the secrets of the higher Kai disciplines or Magna Kai. By acquiring the wisdom of the Magna Kai, the Kai can progress towards the ultimate achievement and become a Kai Grand Master.
Nice.
Kai Wisdom. The Kai have many ruthless enemies, including the Darklords of Helgadad and their evil servants, who give and expect no mercy. Use the map to help steer a course during any travel you undertake, and make notes as you progress through the story, for they will be helpful in future adventures. Many things that you find will aid you during your travels. Some special items and backpack items will be of use in future adventures, and others may be red herrings of no real use at all. So try to be selective in what you decide to keep. There are many routes open to you, but only one involves a minimum of danger. With a wise choice of Kai disciplines and a great deal of courage, any player should be able to complete the mission no matter how weak their initial combat skill or endurance points. Sorry. Good luck and Godspeed on the perilous journey that lies ahead. For Sommerlund and the Kai.
Love it.
So here's our map of the last lands, being the free kingdoms of northern Magnaman. And so we are over here. Here's the Kai Monastery right here. And this is where we start. And then the Home Guard is right here, which is the capital. Duranor is over here. And this is just a glimpse of the world of Magnaman, which is really cool. So this is the Last Lands area. And there's some other areas as well. Okay. Are we ready to begin? What time is it? We are 38 minutes in, 39 minutes in. That's not too bad. We could go for 20 minutes for sure on this for our first hour. Or we'll just see how things go. Again, everybody, we're making this up as we go. All right. Let us begin. Night on the dark. You are woken from your sleep by the clockwork chimes of the timepiece. You placed beside your pillow the previous evening. In the dim candlelight of the initiate's dormitory, you rise from your bunk and dress quickly in your green Kai tunic and cloak, pausing briefly to adjust your belt and backpack before leaving your sleeping comrades. You are determined not to be late for your training session with Kai Master Starfire, mindful of the forfeit he will impose if you break your promise to be punctual. You leave by the dormitory's north door, which opens directly onto the training park in the center of the Kai Monastery. Starfire is already waiting for you beside weapons rack near the center of the yard. In the pre-dawn moonlight, your sharp eyes see that this formidable warrior is already dressed in his ceremonial robes for today's festivities. He greets you with a nod on his head and tells you to pick one of the wooden practice weapons from the rack. You choose a sword. Lucky us. Sorry.
Nice.
You choose a sword fashioned from sturdy Sommerlund oak and take up your position opposite him in readiness. Battles are not always fought in broad daylight, Silent Wolf, he says as he pulls a wooden sword from the rack. The gloom of this morn will serve to sharpen your senses. Pity the same cannot be said for your attentiveness in class. Patiently, your Kai Master puts you through the paces, teaching you correctly how to parry and block and strike to greatest effect. After half an hour of intense instruction, you are breathless and drenched in sweat, despite the frosty chill of the morning air. Starfire, conversely, shows not the slightest sign of fatigue after the exertions of the training. Well done, Silent Wolf. You may rack your sword and rest a while. Your shortfalls in the classroom seem to be compensated by your natural ability with weapons. You show great promise. Now, if only you would apply the same effort to your studies, then perhaps one day you too will attain the rank of a Kai Master. You thank Starfire for his compliment and his advice. He never gives praise unduly, and his approving words fill you with a resolve not to daydream in future classes. You place your wooden sword in the rack and unhook a flask of water. You are taking your first swallow when suddenly the stillness is shattered by the clang at the gatehouse bell. The monastery alarm has been sounded. For the love of Ishir, exclaims Starfire. He is staring intently towards the west, toward a sky that is growing strangely darker with every passing moment. At first you see nothing in the gloom, but then your eyes discern something moving in the darkness. Hundreds upon hundreds of winged creatures are approaching the monastery. Gran! Gasps Starfire. Kai, preserve us! The doleful clang of the alarm bell has awoken everyone in the monastery. A few Kai masters in lower ranks are now emerging from the dormitories. Most are without their battle armor, but every one of them is armed in readiness to defend your stronghold from attack. The first wave of winged Kran swoop down from out of the darkening sky as they come screeching toward the monastery's gatehouse. You see that they are carrying Gyaks upon their leathery backs. These fierce creatures are the mainstay of the Darklords' armies. What they may lack in physical size and intelligence is more than compensated for by their vast numbers. The doors of the gatehouse are half open, and as the leading Kran drop their riders and wheel away, these first few Gyaks scramble to their feet and come rushing headlong towards the opening. They are determined to gain entry before the great doors of the monastery can be fully closed. Silent Wolf, follow me, commands Starfire, and he turns and runs swiftly towards the gatehouse entrance. If you choose immediately to obey Kai Master Starfire's order, turn to 392. If you decide to arm yourself with a real weapon from the racks before following him, turn to 497.
Ooh. Well, we probably should follow him.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go with your gut instinct. Okay,
right.
392. I'm going to go to 392, everybody.
Although I would like a weapon.
Right. We'll see what happens.
Right.
Okay. 392. All right. We're entering the battlefield. I'm going to do the little battlefield noise here now. Let's do this music. Boy, that's awfully soft. Boo. I don't like that. Let's go back to this one. All right.
Well, we'll learn which ones we like as we go along.
We got so many to choose from. That's right. This is royalty-free music, everybody, specifically for the purpose of playing D&D and these kinds of things. So we're excited. 392. Starfire unsheaths his sword as he runs. He glances over his shoulder. Then he tosses the blade towards you haft first. Nice. You catch it easily by the handle without slowing your pace. The weight of the blade feels good in your hand. Be sure to record this sword on your action chart. So we got a sword. So nice.
Well, I had already wrote sword behind weapon skills, so.
Right, but now you have sword as a weapon. So we add that to our list. So now we get our +2 modifier now too, because it's on our weapon skill. Nice. Okay. Your senses are now alive and tingling with anticipation of the real battle that is about to commence. Starfire unhooks a double-bladed axe from his belt and launches himself at the Gyaks as they come scurrying through the gap in the gatehouse doors. In a blur of deadly motion, he strikes the leading enemy an uppercut blow with his axe that splits its ugly gray face from chin to crown.
Nice.
The Gyak's body tumbles backwards, trailing an arc of vile black blood. Starfire presses home his attack with a flurry of axe blows that decapitate the 3 Gyaks that are following in his wake. A dozen more rush forward, eager to overwhelm your Kai Master with their superior numbers. "Leave them to me," commands Starfire. "You secure the gates." With his bloodied axe head, he points towards a lever that is set into the south tower of the gatehouse Barbican wall. Immediately, you turn and sprint towards it, determined to carry out his command as quickly as you can. You are less than 20 feet distant when a Gyak breaks away from the fight and comes rushing to intercept you. It runs directly towards the lever, then turns to block your path. With a chilling growl, it levels its spear and gets ready to impale you up on the black iron spike. If you possess the Kai discipline of mind over matter and wish to use it, turn to 217. Wah, wah. We don't have that one. Okay.
No, we don't have that one.
Okay, so if you do not possess this discipline or choose not to use it, turn to 318. All right, here we go, everybody. 318.
Let's fight this monster.
Let's do it. I love it. 318. Okay, here we go. The Gyak draws back its leathery gray lips to reveal a mouthful of sharp, yellowed fangs. It snarls with menace as it thrusts its deadly spear tip towards your unprotected chest. Gyak Assault Trooper, Combat Skill 12, Endurance 12. Okay, so here we go, everybody. So we're going to go... Okay, where's my thing? So what's our combat skill?
Our combat skill is 13 plus 2 because we have the sword.
So we're 15 and his is 12. So that puts us at +3. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to roll.
Oh, wait, what was his number?
For his endurance was 12. So he was 12 endurance and we're 30 endurance. I love it. So +3. Here we go, everybody. I'm going to roll. Oh, here, let me bring it up so everybody can see it. Let's roll. 9. Nice. Okay, so let's go back. So +3, I go down to 9. 9, right? Here's 9. Yeah, 9 to +3. The enemy is -14. Player character is -0. You want to describe what you think happened?
Wait a minute. Repeat the...
Enemy takes 14 hit points.
Okay.
So he was at 12, and we hit him with 14. He dead 90 dead, everybody.
So we just smashed him. We cut him right in half. And blood just kept squirting everywhere.
Love it. We didn't even take anything. That's a great first battle. All right. If you win this combat, turn to 511.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Ooh, there's a lot here. Excellent. Here, I'll turn the music down a little bit. Hopefully that's not too loud for everybody. That's an 8. I'm enjoying this music, though.
This is cool. I like it.
All right, here we go. 511.
All right.
You step away from the Gaiac's dead, split body with your heart pounding hard in your chest. This is the first time you have killed a Gaiac, and although you have carried out your duty with admirable skill, you now feel both excited and nauseous. Your body is in the grip of two conflicting emotions, elation and revulsion. "Well fought, Silent Wolf," cries Starfire. While you were in combat, he has slain the first wave of Gaiacs who were attempting to gain entry. Now he is running towards the wall of the gatehouse barbican to activate the lever which controls the doors. He raises this iron level and the great creaking doors close. Several Gaiac corpses are crushed flat and their limbs severed when the two doors meet and lock shut with a resounding boom.
Nice.
The shock of your first combat subsides once the main gate is secured. Kai Master Starfire has praised you for the second time this day, and now he directs your gaze towards the top of the highest tower in the monastery. This magnificent edifice is called the Tower of the Sun, and it is where the Kai Masters have their halls of learning. The highest level belongs to the leader of the Kai, Grand Master Brave Blade. "Silent Wolf, I have an important task for you. Look up there, at the very top of the tower, and tell me what you see." You comply with Starfire's request. Despite the unnatural darkness and the countless numbers of Kran that are now circling the skies above, you can make out a large gem-like crystal, which is set into the tip of an elaborate spire fashioned from rune-carved steel. "I see the crystal beacon, my lord," you reply. "Just so. I want you to go there now and fire up the beacon. It will warn the king and Homgard that the Darklords are attacking. Do you understand?" "Aye, my lord." Starfire looks towards the spire and frowns. "Something is wrong. The sentinels of the tower should have set off the beacon by now. I fear they must have fallen." Starfire's grim thoughts are broken when suddenly a second wave of flying creatures come swooping down towards the monastery. These are much larger than the Kran of the first wave, and slung below their black bellies are nests filled with Gaiacs attired in the battle armor and equipped with swords and shields. "Zlan beasts!" exclaimed Starfire. "That accursed Zarganar! So this is how he plans to defeat us." One of these great black Zlan beasts comes swooping down to hover above the training park. A cloaked rider releases its net, and a score of armored Gaiacs comes crashing down. Several are crushed to death upon impact, but the majority survive, and quickly they cut themselves free from the net. As soon as they are freed, they spread out and attack any Kai who are out in the open. "Go, Silent Wolf," urges Starfire as he steels himself to counter the enemy's airborne attack. "Go now and fire up that beacon." As Starfire hurries back towards the training park to meet the enemy in combat, you peer through the eerie gloom, your keen eyes searching out the shortest route, which will take you to the beacon. The great door to the Tower of the Sun has been sealed from the inside to prevent the enemy from gaining access, so you must now find an alternate way to enter. There are several doors that lead into the mighty halls of the monastery at ground level. However, only one of them now remains open. It is located beneath a large balcony on top of the broad granite ramp. Sorry, I'm stuttering because I wanted to look ahead. My bad. And it permits entry to the Kai Master's chambers. You resolve to enter the monastery by this way and set off at a run toward the ramp. Gaiac nets are being dropped more frequently now, and twice you are nearly crushed as you hurry around the training park and off towards the distant ramp. One net, released too soon, hits the middle of the granite ramp just as you reach it. All save one of the luckless Gaiacs ramp just as you reach it. Sorry, my brain. I got to use my finger to read. All save one of the luckless Gaiacs are killed by the tremendous impact, but the sole survivor is able to recover its senses and cut his way out through the top. As you sprint up the ramp towards the open portal, the Gaiac leaps from the heap of netting and broken bodies and attacks you with its curved black sword. All right, Gaiac next soldier, combat skill 13, endurance 13.
Okay, hold on.
So we are 15 in combat skill, right? because we're using our thing. Ooh, do you want to do Mind Blast? We forgot about Mind Blast.
Wait a minute. What section is this? I forgot to even write that down last time.
Oh, this is 511. Good call. I'm sorry. 511. Everybody, one of the things they want you to do in the chart is to write down which section you are. And this is super helpful, where you just keep things.
And this is Gaiac what?
Gaiac Net Soldier.
Okay. And he's got an endurance points of
13. Combat skill.
One more than the last one.
One more than the last one. Yeah. This Gaiac is in a state of shock and battle frenzy. It does not feel any pain. All wounds inflicted upon this enemy in the first 2 rounds of combat are halved, with any fractions rounded down. If the Gaiac loses 5 endurance points in the first round of combat, half of the sum is 2.5. Therefore, the fraction should be ignored and the loss rounded down to 2 points. Okay. First 2 rounds. Okay. So we have, I've got my marker here so I can go back to the back page and show everybody. Okay, here we go. Okay, so 13. So we're at 15. Are we going to use, it didn't say anything about Mind Blast. You want to add Mind Blast to that? So that gives us 17.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah.
So 17, he's at 13. So that puts us at what? +4. Okay, here we go, everybody. We're going to roll. Ooh, I'm scared. 5. So we go to 5. So here's 5 in there. So the enemy takes 9 hit points. So we have to have that and roll down. So that's 4.5. So it only takes 4 hit points. So he goes 13 minus 4. That puts him down to 9. And we take 2 hit points because he's in battle frenzy mode.
Okay. We take 2?
Yep. So we go from 30 to 28.
Gotcha.
Okay. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
So the first blow, we swing and cuts deep into his shoulder and stuff, but he just shrugs it off because he is in frenzy mode. Got blood spurting from his shoulder, and he's like, bring it on.
It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah. All right, here's the next roll. 10. Okay, so we're 4. We go to 10. That means 16. So he takes 8 hit points because this is the second round, and we take 0.
Wait a minute. You took how many?
0.
Oh,
0.
Okay. No, Lone Wolf is at 0. Enemies at 14.
No.
We're under +4, right?
I apologize. Let me rephrase that. So we're still at +4 in our combat skill. And so we did 10, and then so the enemy takes, it says 16 hit points, but we put that in half. So he was down to 9, so that 8. So now he's down to 1 hit point.
Gotcha. Okay.
And we didn't take any damage whatsoever.
I was going to say.
Yeah. All right. So what would you say this time? Since you said it's a flesh one, we probably cut off both his arms and legs.
He's like the knight.
That's right. It's just a flesh wound.
I can take you.
Right. Okay. So here's the next roll. Here we go. 4. All right. So 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So the enemy takes, now this is the third round, so he takes 8 hit points. And so that wipes him out. He dead. We chopped off his head.
Dead.
And then we take 2 hit points. So we go from 28 to 26. All right. So now we'll go back. Here we go. If you win the combat, we did, by golly. Stabbed him right through the heart. Stabbed through the heart. And you're too. Oh, sorry. All right. If you win combat, go to 246. 240. Look at that. I pulled right to it. Okay, here we go. 246. You leap over the dead Gaiac's body and run towards the top of the ramp. Several of your fellow initiates are busily constructing a barricade at the entrance of the Kai Master's chambers, and you hear them give a cheer as you come running towards them. Several witnessed your fight and are eager to congratulate you for slaying the Dark Spawn. Mindful of your mission, you urge them to complete their work, and then you hurry into the welcoming shelter of the chamber's entrance hall. This grand part of the monastery houses the apartments and personal libraries of the Kai Masters, the teaching members of the Kai Order. The entrance hall is usually devoid of any grand embellishments, but today is Fairmarn, and it is bedecked with all the battle banners and insignia of the Kai. You are distracted by the many glorious flags that are hanging from the buttress's ceiling, and you collide with a Kai Master who is hastening in the opposite direction towards the barricade. It is Swift Owl, a master especially gifted in the disciplines of the mind. Take courage, Silent Wolf, he says. Duty awaits you outside this day. Conquer your fear and be proud of what you are. Mistakenly, he has assumed that you are fleeing from the battle now raging in the monastery grounds. Forgive me, Master Swift Owl, you reply, but I am not afraid to do my duty. I am under orders from Master Starfire. I am to make my way to the top of the Tower of the Sun and must trigger the crystal beacon. Swift Owl scowls. Then you feel a sudden wave of heat passing through your head, and at once you sense that he is using his psychic skills to tell you are speaking the truth. A smile flickers for a few moments in his tanned, craggy face. That way, child, he says, pointing to the distant door. Make haste, fire the beacon, do not fail. You hurry towards the arched doorway at the end of the hall, far end of the hall. Beyond it, there is a wide passageway lined with oak cupboards that stretch from floor to ceiling. You recognize this place. It is where spare furniture and equipment for the entrance hall is stored. If you wish to stop and search some of the cupboards, turn to 175. If you decide to hurry on along the passageway without stopping, turn to 74.
Wait a minute. Read our choices again. Sorry.
Yep. That's okay. If you wish to stop and search some of these cupboards, turn to 175. If you decide to hurry on along the passageway without stopping, turn to 74.
Let's search the cupboards.
Okay, sounds good. Please add 1 healing point because we just did a paragraph or we did a section. So that's 1 healing point that is given back to us.
So
175.
now we have 27 endurance points.
Okay. What was it? 175. Okay, here we go. 175. The first 3 cupboards you open only contain chairs and tables and antique pewter plates. But in the 4th, you discover a coil of rope and a dagger. If you wish to take the backpack item, the weapon, or both, make the necessary amendments to your action chart and then continue by turning to 74. So go ahead and add the coil of rope and the dagger because that gives us a second weapon just in case. All right, we're adding those. Okay, all right, now we go to 74. So now we did another one. In my mind, that's another section. That's another point to add. That's another healing point.
So now we're up to 28 endurance.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Here we go. 74. At the end of the passageway, you pass through a series of antechambers before arriving at the entrance of the Kai Master's kitchen. The cooks have prepared a banquet feast for Fairmarn, and the tables and the work surfaces are heaped with dishes of food and jugs of wine. The kitchen's open fires are blazing, and the heat in here feels furnace-like after the frosty chill of the training park. You have taken barely a dozen steps into the parching cookery when there's a sudden explosion and a deluge of shattered glass cascades from the ceiling. The cooks dive for cover beneath the tables as the broken fragments of stained glass rain down in a deadly shower upon their heads. The enemy have landed upon the roof, and the Gyaks are now smashing the skylights in an attempt to gain entry to the Kai Master's chambers. You grab a silver serving tray and cover your head as you run through the shower of splintered glass towards a heavy oak door on the far side of the kitchen. The tray saves you from serious injury, but one falling shard embeds itself in the knuckles of your left hand, causing you to yelp at the sudden pain. Lose 1 endurance point.
Ooh.
Hurriedly, you reach the door, pull it open, and rush through into the corridor beyond. Briefly, you stop to pull the shard from your hand. Then you tear a narrow strip of cloth from the hem of your Kai cloak and bandage your bleeding hand before continuing. You know this corridor well. It leads towards your dormitory. At the end, there are 2 doors. One leads to the corridor that connects to the dormitory, and the other leads out onto the training park. If you wish to enter the door to your dormitory corridor, turn to 333. If you decide to open the door which leads to the training park, turn to 374.
Let's go to the training park.
Okay. 374. 374. Okay, here we go. The chilling sounds of battle grow steadily louder as you get nearer to the door. With trepidation, you draw back the 3 iron bolts, keeping it secure. Then you unsheath your weapon and get ready to open the heavy door and leave. You pull it open and step out onto the paved courtyard that lies beyond. But immediately you are attacked by 2 snarling Gyaks. They rush at you in unison, determined to cut you down and gain entry to the monastery through the door that you have unlocked. Gyak Assault Troopers. Combat skill 14, endurance 16. You must fight these 2 enemies at the same time.
Okay. Endurance point was what?
Endurance is 14. So we're at 17 because we have a sword, and then we also
our endurance points is 27. Oh, you're talking about hit points. Sorry.
I'm talking about the hit points. Yeah, what they're at. So that puts us at plus. If we're at 17, that puts us at +3. Their endurance is 16.
Okay, so the combat ratio is +3.
It's +3. Yes.
And what section is this?
This is section 374. Good call.
Okay, got it.
There's my notes. Okay. All right, everybody, here we go. All right, we ready to roll?
Yep.
+3, +4 column. We roll 10. 10. Oh my goodness. 10. Enemy takes 16 points.
We
take 0. So everybody, what we did was just with one big, huge cry, that yelp, that barbaric yelp, we go and reach out and swing with all of our might with our sword and decapitate both Gyaks in one fell swoop.
That's one heck of a hit.
That's one heck of a hit. Love it. All right. Okay, great. So if you win combat, turn to 270. So now we're headed to 270. All right, here we go.
Probably start wrapping up the first session because we're over an hour now.
Oh, yeah, we are. Okay. Oh, we're still in the middle of this whole battle, but it's going to still take a while. Okay. We'll round out here with a little bit, see if there's a little bit more. You take a few steps back from the bodies of the dead Gyaks and survey the desperate battle that now rages throughout the monastery grounds. Across the training park and in every courtyard and terrace, small isolated groups of Kai masters and initiates, acolytes and dones, journeymen, and all the other many ranks of the order are fighting side by side, back to back, with matchless courage and breathtaking skill against seemingly impossible odds. The bodies of their enemies lie heaped in high circles around them. Hundreds upon hundreds of Gyaks have now been landed, yet still the sky is black with land beasts circling high overhead, waiting impatiently for their chance to swoop down and release their heavy cargoes. They have been joined by swarms of Kran carrying sinister red-cloaked riders. These smaller, faster-winged beasts come swooping along the battlements at a fearsome speed, their shrieking riders hurling missiles which explode on impact with a splash of bright scarlet fire. Many sections of the battlement walls and walkways have been destroyed by these aerial attackers, and the rubble and debris they leave in their wake burns with a hellish, unnatural flame. Acrid plumes of smoke arise from these fires. They trail across the battleground, adding greatly to the chaos and confusion. Ooh.
Wow.
Do we need to stop here? Because this is a big section.
We probably should, and then we'll pick up in our next playthrough.
All right, we'll pick up at 270, everybody, because we are still in the midst of the battle.
Wow.
That was a great beginning section for us, I believe. I like that. Fun. That was good. That was really good. Yes, very much so. So, whew. Okay. Oh. And there we go. Stop the music.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, well, that was a lot of fun.
That was great. That was good stuff right there. So that was good. Well, everybody, we hope you enjoyed this journey. Please check out the next episode as we continue our journey through Flight from the Dark.
Nice.
Thanks for joining us.